Hey, what's going on, guys? Rick Rooster here. I just real quick wanted to point out something that's going to happen later this week. They're going to shut down Lakeshore Drive over by the Wrigley Field area where the Cubs play for a anti-gang violence or anti-gun violence protest. You know, because the South Side is plagued by gang and gun violence so bad that they want to, again, shut down the north side of the city to quote unquote make the rest of the city feel the pain of what they're going through. Now, here's what I don't get. They want to shut down the expressway or Lakeshore Drive to for their cause, but their cause can easily be solved by them, which in a nutshell, stop fucking killing each other. How hard is that? Nobody's doing it to you, you're doing it to yourselves. And because you can't stop doing it to yourselves, you're gonna force other people to make you stop. That makes no fucking sense. That's something that you do to a child. You do it to a child. When he doesn't want to stop doing something to himself, then you implement something to force him to stop doing something. Grown people should be able to control themselves. But apparently, in the black community out there, it's not. And this is the problem. It's a racial thing. It really is. You know, it's a racial problem. The black community, for some reason, on the south side of Chicago, can't control themselves. That's the reason why a lot of people leave the hood or leave the city and they go move to the suburbs. Let me tell you something real quick. Let me tell you how racist this sounds. I'm black, I'm white, so I want to be in a white community, and where we look after our own, and the police are white, and we support white business, and we need to pick ourselves up and maintain ourselves without having any help from the outsiders. We don't want anybody else but white people helping us out. You know what I mean? That all sounds racist as hell, right? But if you change the word white to black, that shit has been openly said all over the news, all over social media, all over by Black Lives Matter and their activists and all that stuff. But it's not racist. So who are the real racists? Thinking like that promotes racial violence and racial problems, racial issues. When you want to just, exclude yourself from the rest of the world, but when the world excludes you, you want to go ahead and cry racism. Well, the south side of Chicago is mostly black already. Mostly, not all, mostly. And look at the great job that they're doing maintaining themselves right now, maintaining their childhoods and maintaining, their life so they can grow up. It's not happening. I don't know off the top of my head what the life expectancy is of a young black male in the South Side, but I can tell you it's not that high. It's not that high. The odds of somebody being born in the black South Side of Chicago and growing up to being a success is very low, and it's not because of racism. It's not because of racial injustice. It's because of self-oppression, from what I see. They grow up and they're institutionalized. They don't want to leave the ghetto, but yet they complain when stuff happens in the ghetto. I call it the ghetto. You want to get mad at me for calling it the ghetto? I don't give a shit. But it's a fucking ghetto out there, and they're not fixing themselves. They're asking everybody else to come fix it for them. Trump already made a suggestion of sending in the National Guard. Oh, we're against that. The black community has a big problem with gun violence. And whenever there's an altercation with a police officer, where the police officer has to defend themselves, the police officer ends up being the victim of being called a racist or making a racially motivated decision to shoot the black person, regardless if you had a gun or not. If you shoot a black person, you're automatically a racist if you're a cop. If you commit a crime against a black person, you're automatically racist because the person you committed a crime against was black. This is bullshit. This is a bullshit mentality, and we gotta stop it. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but it's just like, there's a quote that I like to say, is that the first step to solving a problem is realizing that there is a problem. And the problem right now is people are too quick to jump to the conclusion that everything's racially motivated. It's not. It's not. But it's an easy way to get out of a fucking ticket. It's an easy way to get paid by the city. That's what I do see. Whenever you see Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson up there on the camera screaming Black Lives Matter, this or that, it's not to promote a cause. There's a big fucking payout coming for that. You know what I mean? They don't do that whenever a black person takes out another black person. Oh no, no. What's the point? The only way that they show their face is if they can make something look racially motivated. And because of that way of thinking, we're in the situation that we are today. There's a scene from a movie that it didn't make sense to me before. Now it does. If y'all remember the movie Remember the Titans with Denzel Washington, when he's coming down really hard on Petey, which was a black football player on the team. He benched him, and then the white coach went ahead and said, well, you know what, you're gonna play defense for me. And then Denzel Washington went up to that white coach behind closed doors, and he goes, what are you doing? White coach says, well, I just went ahead and put him where I thought he could, you know, be useful. Denzel Washington took that as the white coach kind of feeling sorry for the black kid, for Denzel coming down on him. But then Denzel pointed out, well, I come down on the other white athletes. I don't see you catering to them. But when I come down on, you know, when I come down on the black kids, you want to protect them from Coach Big Bad Boone. He was like, you can't be doing that, because if you do, you'll be crippling them. You cripple them for life. I never understood really what he meant by that, but then it makes sense now. When you grow up thinking that you're always going to be a victim of something, when you grow up turning everything into, like, everything bad that happens to you, there's a racially motivated reason why, like the white man keeping you down or whatever, then that becomes part of your lifestyle. You grow up in this victimhood, and it's spread like wildfire through the black community now. And it's so weird you could even say the word black community now. How would everything sound if you say, like, you know, like, oh, well, you know, we're here, this is a white community. You know, if you move into a neighborhood and you say, yeah, it's a white community, naturally people already automatically assume whoever said that and was proud to say that, they sound like a racist. Yeah, this is a pretty nice, clean white community. I like it here. It's a nice white community. We have a nice, tight-knit white community. When people talk like that, people think that they're racist. Like, it's like they're not supposed to be proud to be white, or even they're not supposed to even acknowledge verbally that they're white. They're supposed to just say nice community, leave the white part out. But it's okay to throw the black part in when it's a black community. You know, it's kind of a fucking hypocrisy right there. But anyway, I'm drifting off. But yeah, I think Chicago's starting to go to hell. You know, I say it a lot, and I'll keep saying it again. Just like Chicago, if I were to describe Chicago, what's it like living in Chicago? It's kind of like the end of the movie The One with Jet Li, where he's going through the multiverse, killing himself through all these little different universes, and they finally catch him. And then at the end of the movie, they send them to the universe that's kind of like a prison. And when they send them there, it's pretty much a war zone. And the moment he gets there, people are already trying to fucking take his ass out because he's the new guy. That's exactly what Chicago is like. I don't even know how the hell I'm still alive right now, but I am. And it's going to stay that way. Why? Because I believe in the Second Amendment, bitches. All right? So stay safe, stay strapped legally, and keep living on.